Awesome. Sorry about that delay, folks. We're experiencing a little bit of technical issue. Nick Tockert, this is the Historical Fencing Guild's weekly live stream. Now, we'll get through what this is, if you don't know. Waiting on the connection. Bonk. Try that. Whew. One working. But, okay, cool. Sorry, we're fighting some pretty hefty technical difficulties. For those of you who aren't familiar, right now Microsoft is doing a huge update, and it's just cascading all over the place. What this is this is my weekly show where I gab about all things swords and sword-related. And and through that, I entertain you guys. The Historical Fencing Guild is brought to you first and foremost by The Simple Sword, available through Amazon. Buy it today. Yes, The Simple Sword, the only fencing manual I know based around stick figures and cutting. But yes, we will learn how to kill your friends safely. I also want to thank, as always, my patrons, the amazing Stephen Agosto, who's been with me since day one of being a Patreon member, the effervescent, immutable, unmeasurable glory that is Cindy Kepp, CKOEPP.com for her writings. She's an amazing author. And the Brian K. Morris of Rising Tide Publishing. Without these people, I would not be where I am right now doing what I'm doing. I also want to thank my direct sponsors, John Miner of Swakhammer Metals and Steve Clausen. Good evening, Cindy. Yeah, this is a good day. I'm running, like I said, I'm running late because I've been fighting these horrible, horrible computer problems, and I can't stab them, and I'm not so good with the stabbings. So, got 3 viewers, 1 like. Guys, don't be afraid to mash that. It's scared of you. Use that as point control. Poking the button is a point control drill for that like button. All right? And don't be afraid to share this. People are entertained. This week is going to be a little... Hello, John! All right. And that's what got left. I had a plan that I just realized is buried under necessaries, so I'm going to be shooting farther from the hip than usual. Guys, it's the holidays coming up on us. You know, one of my favorite holidays is Thanksgiving. I am a chunky monkey. And, you know, we remember, when you're carving your turkey, to cut the legs, grab the knife just in front of the handle, pinch grip. Keep it strong. Legs, wings, out from the breast. It's not that hard. Little preview brought you for the randomness that is Nick Tucker. We've got some stuff. I will be, as I do weekly, looking up to see if woodenswords.com is going to bring up. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, so it turns out one of my cell towers in the area is down. Fortunately, not the one running this feed. I'm attached to the other company for that. But it does mean my net is woefully unstable. I'm going to keep talking. I hope you guys can actually hear me. I never know if I'm just when the net's off or not. So this may be a very short video if it keeps cutting out. Whoa, do I have hiccups? Now, I am checking because they have a unstable as Nick. Unstable, oh my gosh, yes. Things are getting bad, folks, and it kind of has changed some of my plans. Not bad, necessarily. It means my finances are being affected, and that's okay. It means I got to plug and work more. I've been so busy. How busy? Inside this totally bought on clearance clipboard, I have Wow. 2 games you guys haven't seen that are pretty much crunch done. That's 2 that no one's seen. One that is in review with Luke Stone. Coming through 5x5. That's what I want to hear, Cindy, because wow. 5x5 just brought me back. Oh. But we have to do my weekly check to see if that $50 intro training rapier has a picture. It does not. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But what we are going to do, guys, we're going to start. I want to talk and remind you guys, winter is coming. It is looming, not to be all Jon Snow-like because I don't know anything, but winter is coming. Now, this is what separates the people who get better with the people who plateau and fall off. How you approach winter. Now, traditionally, this is one of the golden times for the Historical Fencing Guild. We tend to like padded armor. We tend to like layers. It gets a little cool, but it's not icy yet. We go out and we duke it out. Now, the only way I'm going to endanger somebody's life is with something like this, which looks so much better on the side that doesn't show the craft marks. I need to get that Sharpie off of there and probably do a little bit of polish. But I'll endanger your life with something like this any day of the week. But I won't with Corona. So practices are still not a thing. Hopefully, once we hit 2021, I'll be able to set up a whole special where there'll be videos of different bouts and people going at it and crafting and maybe make a whole weekend. Sisters picking up the swords and beating the mortal stuffings out of each other for fun and profit. And that's what I'm going to try to make happen. But until then, we've got to kind of, improvise, adapt, and overcome. So, how are we doing that? First off, I put fatter. I'm fixing that. I'm addressing that, both due to some medical concerns and some old-fashioned just trying to get the motor running. Because I would rather have 2 or 3 dedicated people who give a darn and are building each other up than a horde of just noise. It's that whole, as you get older, you realize you would rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, if that makes any sense. And if it doesn't, don't worry, I won't stay on that topic very long. But I have some stuff in the works. And I have a very busy about week ahead of me because I want to knock some stuff out roughly by the 25th. I had set that as a date because I won't be able to meet with him, which stinks. But I'm going to take this week and I'm going to be really, really pushing for that. Now, 100 pennies, 100 pennies, I can make a great guard. 100 pennies. Oh, John, with 100 pennies, I can do a lot of things. Go. I'm having RPG flashbacks. But, you know what? No, I want to convert all this gold to silver. Why? Because I'm going to make a silver spike. Well, no, I can't make a silver dagger. You won't let me do that. I can dig a furrow in the ground, melt some silver into it, and go. It's not that hard. I break DMs. That's Dungeon Masters, not direct messages. I am subtle and gentle in my direct messages. No, I'm not. I'm the king of non-sequiturs in my direct messages, and that's okay too. But we need to keep rolling, and I need to kind of keep that energy directed. I'm very staticky today. First up, we're going to pull it all back in. Guys, we're facing another lockdown. I could be woefully upset about it. Subtle as a chainsaw, always. But I'm not going to be, because if, as swordsmen, sword ladies, swords women, sword whatever, we live in an era where pronouns get real colorful real fast, and I'm okay with that. As this progresses, the people who come out of it consistently are the ones who take this opportunity. They don't lament. They're working in that, just because you're stuck in a foxhole doesn't mean you can't build up. Doesn't mean you can't get better. So what we need are low to no cost training aids. We need a mentality to form a curriculum for ourselves to be better fencers, to be better swordsmen. And yes, I will, as a word, default to fencing. And that's okay. You are your background. It's not hard. You need a target. You need a space, roughly 5 by 5 minimum. I can do it in long, if it's narrow but a lot longer, I can work with it. You can adapt. Don't be afraid to adapt. The other thing is there are ways to slash and bash. You can build up from that. So what we're going to be breaking down in this, and I'll probably do a more organized video in the future going through how to adjust your footwork drills for dealing with this, how to take advantage. And what will happen is we'll probably do some old-fashioned footwork diagrams. And I'm going to show you guys how, on a budget, you can have really great footwork diagrams. Now, I will give certain caveats. Part of the caveat to this is not the extremely expensive, convoluted version. There's some elegant, insane systems for practicing footwork. I'm not going to push that. What I'm going to push instead is the distilled version. Now, if you can find the Destreza project, it was a group that were working to rebuild Spanish fencing in in English and in modern times. I learned a lot early on, and I've come back to them quite a bit. That's where you get their version of like Thibault's and Ramirez and a few others who have things like the circle and the cross, which is a type of footwork drill device that I will show you guys probably in a separate video. That might be one, because I'm basically rearranging and remodeling the lower portion of my house right now. That means relocating livestock. That means relocating items, going through. When I'm done with that process, I will hopefully have better studio settings, possibly. I want this thing out of the way, and I want something that looks a little more professional. I want to build up, and I want to work on some of my other projects, including a certain video based in the Big Stompy Robots universe that should be muy bueno. Now, I can't do any of that stuff till I'm done with my contract work. But I've been a good boy. And what have I done that makes me a good boy in this case? Well, I have this. This is what I call a CRD. That's a better version of the quick play. This is also called a done for the first version. Oh, Brian, you beautiful, beautiful fest, wonder of man meat. You bringer of joy to, you creamer of cookies. Yes, I said that because it's a late show and I can. We're visited by Brian K. Morris, who helps keep the lights on around here. In this case, it means I've been working my derriere off to make sure that the game you play tested looks professional, at least as far as I can, before I give it to Luke Stone for graphic design. Don't always. So I'm. Oh, thank you. LOL. I have every faith in your talent, good sir. I don't know what I did to do. I've been doing something for the guild. Watch your mail. Oh my, guys. When John says watch your mail, I get excited. He sent me the most incredible letter that the only reason I'm not reading it out is I'm a little possessive. You know, a little right here. And some great things are coming, but I'm not going to second guess it. Everything's going to get set up first. Then I'm going to use his contributions to do something really fabulous. Yay! Yeah. So that's coming. As soon as that's coming, the back of my mind has been writing the acts. So what happens is when I get really tired, I start writing my main project, and when I can't look at it anymore, I switch font and I spew some words about the acts. So I want the acts done. I don't know if I can get it done before 2021, but I want at least that short chunk written up. Then comes a different RPG systems that I was working on before I had the hybrids job that got put off. Oh, it's from the shop. Ooh. And that's going to come back around. And then over the winter, guys, I am I don't want to say recovering Scadian. That doesn't quite sound right. But my name's Nick, and I was a reenactor. Hi, Nick. Anyway, what that means is for guys like me, winter means it's time to armor. It's time to make things. But right now, my garage is not in a state to make things. But there also isn't snow on the ground. So my master plan is to get the garage to make space where I can make things, get the stuff out of the way, get rolling on some goodies, and then you, my good and noble friends, will be getting good and noble things. Yes, well, I want to do more HDPE projects, like this guy. I'm going to be doing very limited custom orders when all this is said and done. I'm still reviewing and hunting down, because what I need is the right sub $50, really like it under $40, or less, as cheap as possible. Sword that I can say this is the basic training sword that will function akin to the parry daggers and the axe and the thing, and I will have the full basic weapon set. That is my goal. I am very close to an option. I have a contender, but it's a bit rigid. That being the Wuja. Is it a pirate sword? You know what? I'm gonna. Oh, we're getting the comments as soon as I say I'm gonna go off camera for just a second. Yes, I am. And okay, that was a very special comment, and if everything works by that time, dear friend, that service won't be needed, assuming we're not all locked down. 1 second. Boop, boop, boop. I forgot to grab toys. Thank you for I lost somebody. Happens every time I leave for a second. Okay. You guys remember this. This is what I was going for. This little guy right now is a little pricey, but it is mass produced. It has a handguard. It is surprisingly sturdy. There's still a bit much belly for my particular hands, but this is a great length for indoor training. And this is so painfully close to what I want. If I could get something with a proper keyhole grip, friends, it would be amazing. Now, that's what I like to see, by the way. I've got 4 viewers, 4 likes. I'm fat, dumb, and happy right now. But this is what I'm looking for roughly in length. I want to keep to the short weapons relatively because these we can train indoors with. There are two-handed weapons out there. They look like paddles. I'm pretty sure they're available through either Black Fencer or Purpleheart. But whatever, guys, if you ever have the chance to go Black Fencer, which is released in America through South Coast Swords, or Purpleheart, I'm always going to say Purpleheart. Now, Black Fencer has some stuff I patently lust after. They have a falchion type sword, much like this, that actually owned back the steel hilted version before they switched to aluminum. But it's still, I want to support the Made in America company, if at all possible, or a company I've had a lot of dealings with. That would be something like Cold Steel, something like this. This is a great little sword. See, this is longer than my hand and forearm, so this goes right along the line from a large dagger, large knife to short sword. That's what I consider that for me. Now, this is scaled to me. We need that 24 to 30-inch range because that's the easiest to work with indoors. So I'm still hunting and looking for that. Since they haven't, that's how something like this gets made. Which, not the most professional weapon in the world, but danged if I'm not proud of it. Yes, John, it's a toothpick. Yes, John, you are a giant. You literally are a 3/5 with trample giant. Tap 4 colorless and 2 green to cast John Minor. That's the basic John Minor, not the legendary version. But yes, and I did just talk about you in Magic the Gathering card terms. Folks, look at this outfit. Accept it. I am a geek. I know I'm a geek. You know I'm a geek. It's a beautiful thing. I'm also a nerd. That works. Here's the sword. Run me through! Now, when you're running short on substance, always bank up with style. But if you train with smaller weapons inside, it's easier to adapt later to long weapons. As long as you start and become intimately familiar with a single length. This guy, who I will be completely refinishing in the near future, it needs to work up, was my baby. Okay? And I say that in terms of SEA. It's still, this to me is the epitome of a fencing sword. I like the length. I like the bounce. This is the Rosetta Stone to which I hold almost every sword. And I fence with this so much that it's still little circles, little circles. Can I get, there's a good angle. Little circles. I have incredible control with this little guy. This is the line for what I hold a sword to run into. And when when you pick a length, and you pick one length, and you abso-frag-and-lutely know it. When you can pick up something, I can pick up this axe, and by feel tell where I'm going to hit with my eyes closed. I can go high, I can go low, I can pop right into the thing. Eyes perfectly closed. I know this weapon. I know how it feels, functions, and balances. May not know what's on the table, but I know the weapon. Keep that ball rolling, folks. Now, I do, I'm going to put a link in, and this is especially for folks like John. Boop. I set up a new Facebook group called St. Nick's Creatives Christmas Mall. And the idea is I want all the people I know who's here through YouTube, through my gaming, through all you creatives who make stuff and sell it on the side to get on there and plug what you do. There's a real simple rule set. And then what you do is you just put up, I'm selling this. I looked through the others because I figured this 2020, who needs our money for when we buy gifts for the people we love? The big freaking corporations or the little guy? I think that answer's pretty apparent. And I know people who make swordy things and knifey things. So, John, if you're if you're popping that bubble and getting back into taking commissions, get up on there. And maybe that's what you need to do. Take moderate to high-end, single piece commission work for a while before you get your stock built up. Or make custom riggings, because it's stuff that's small. You can crank, low material, outlay cost, relatively low time for you. It's sort of the nails the blacksmiths sell at the fair. That didn't cost them much time, but it builds up people to buy more. After I get, yeah, John. They say, think about the cost of being an artist. And I say, think about the cost of not being an artist when you are. And what do I mean by artist? First, most of the people here are one form or another of a martial artist. They have sold, bartered, traded, developed, exchanged skills in a fashion for the sole purpose of demonstration, improvement, self-defense, whatever. That's an art. That means it can be sold or at least capitalized on. I know dear friend Steve Clausen is planning some amazing things. I don't know what they are because it's Steve, and he's got spook written all over him. I just know if I get a chance to be a part of it, which I suspect I will do what I can to be a part, because that's what friends and partners do. But spread it around. You guys know good people. This isn't about me making money or fame or anything like that. I mean, yeah, my plugs are up there. And if you go to amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tockert, you will find the Simple Sword BSR and a bunch of other things, plus new stuff coming. Really cool new stuff. Not counting the stuff through Terraform Comics and Luke Stone for the Hybrids RPG. But that's off topic. Mildly. To the person commenting, no, we discussed it. Not drow. This is not blood. This is not a drow potion. This is just black cherry caffeinated beverage. Please stop elucidating that I'm using the powers of darkness for my own benefit. It's just not my style. But, couple things we need. We need, guys, you guys got to pick a signature weapon. This drives me nuts. I want to play with this, and I'm going to fight with this. You're new. No. The new person, take your time. Pick a core weapon. What do you mean by from Manda's Cauldron? Now, that was earlier. Mandy made some really great, see, I worked today, she did it. And when this happens once in a while, usually today, when that happens, she likes to surprise me with something to remind me of just how awesome a cook she is. And there was this chicken rice dish, which sounds bonehead simple, but it was proper slow cooked chicken rice with barbecue chicken and a few other things. Yeah, it was good. I didn't get chunky by not having a wife who can cook. That woman can cook circles around people. But no, this no magic, no potion. Now, if you see me drinking out of a coffee cup, all bets are off. When I make coffee, it's dang near alchemy. And I know I talk to alchemists. But, getting all the way back, What I'm going to be doing in a video very soon, I realize, is going to be basically trash bashing basic trainer gear. In what can, how can you, with next to no outlay, put together gear to help you become better with no budget? Because, like, if you have a budget, okay, if you guys have money, you want to learn a specific style, if you don't know how, you don't know where to go, seriously, that's part of what these videos are for. You comment your questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability, including the 3 words that no one else on the internet seems to know how to say. I don't know. At which point I will then go find out, because I hate not knowing stuff. It's pathological. Some people collect, cars or autographs. I collect skills and information, and a little bit of secrets. Secrets are fun. But that had nothing to do with that statement. I just felt like flashing it. So, hire space at the library to shoot it. Library after hours. But I've had to make some. But you have resources. Resources, yes. Funds, as a rule, no. When I get funds, I use them for things I can't resource. And my funds are on reserve till I have the space, so I can pick out the exact things we need to make this whole thing better. Which is why I haven't just gone out and gone, look at all this cool stuff. Also why I don't currently have the gear. That, you know what? I'm shape-shifting, guys. I am doing a long-term, long-range lycanthropy. I'm going to lose this weight. I am getting my mobility back. I totally, okay, 2 things. 1, I support Swakhammer medals. Right. Sorry, we had some system errors. I support Swakhammer medals. Cindy says armor requirements when you're solo are pretty straightforward. We're gonna put that right there. I'm gonna try not to put it right on the thing. I don't want it to be there for more than a minute or so I'll keep an eye on it. SSOs and that's more complicated. Okay, reaching back up. Armor for the solo person, is it necessary? Yes. Why? Let's find out. Armor for the solo practitioner. If you're planning to fight, you should, whenever possible, train in the armor that you intend to fight in, so you get used to physical limitations. And you can address anything that binds or catches, and you can improve it. Wonderful to know. Yeah, I Jarvis hardcore. SSOs. Cindy. Last I checked, you're not terribly far from me. You tell me what you are looking for in SSO. I will make arrangements possibly to extreme levels. So seriously, Cindy, you are a former fencer, and not saying that you don't fence, but you tell me what you need, and tell me what you're looking for to be able to accomplish, and what kind of budget you have for it. And if I can't improvise it, and folks, I'm a scrounge. I am a card-carrying, proud scrounge. I live in competition with my arch rivals, the Scrapper. And in this quasi-post-apocalyptic, WTF-scape that we live in, there is conflict. But I have been this creature for my whole life. Making something out of next to you tell me, and I mean it, Cindy. You can be brief here or sit back. What do you need in an SSO? For folks who don't know, the term she's using as SSO is sword simulating object. That is what we use to train with. That isn't actually a sharp edge thing, because please do not train with sharp edge things. The scariest moment I had as a instructor was I was helping my buddy Sword Sage, and he needed a smart tackle dummy, essentially. He needed somebody who could be the opponent, but do what they're told without overshining. And frankly, I excel at such things. And he took a thrust, but I realized it was a little close with a Hanwei blunted Jin. And I actually pinch caught it. The sword came in, and I caught the sword tip with a pinch, went no, and stopped the thrust. My grabber is defective, so the extra leverage helps. A dagger main gouge with some sort of widget. Continued. Okay. Now, guys, with the exception of Swakhammer medals, because John is an old friend and helps out, Purpleheart does not give me money. I have had no exchanges other than helping design the sword and getting without the pommel. He put a weighted pommel. I have a bell guard or two. Oh, okay. Cindy, if you have a bell guard and a couple other bits left over from my SCA fencing, so I may just need to acquire an actual blade or whatever the missing bits are. Okay. A practice foil blade. That's not it. Oh, that is. 1 second. There went my phone. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Length runs about $14 through Blue Gauntlet. So go blue-gauntlet.com is a fencing supplier. And this is their bare practice blade. It's about $14. Once my garage is up, I will be rigging some customs of these. If you have your guard and you can work it, that's fine. If you need grip support, there are 2 routes you can go. Yep, that's okay. We don't plan, we improvise. Zen Warrior sells riggings. Now, the brass part, which will be, you can actually talk to Chad. He can make some really neat custom rigs. If you and of course, my phone just crashed because that's what it's going to do. Boom. If you want just parts to fix your armory, again, it's an American company. I have had extensive dealings with them over the years. They just redid their website, so for phone capability. So it's a little difficult for me to navigate. But they have some wonderful fencing gear. Hanwei is better if you want much longer weapons. I will give Hanwei the credit; they go longer. But okay. They have really redone their site. Oh God, my hiccups are terrible. Here we go. Why is this glitching? Search by price low. Wait, no, not price high to low. Well, price high to low will work. I'm going to bring that up while it glitches over here. But they sell actually. No, I want price low to high because that's how. So nice to all items, and we go back to what I am trying to find. Now, custom fencing foil, but I think it would be much cheaper to piecemeal what you need, especially if you have stuff. If you send me pictures of what you have, 65, but they're still a bit heavy for what she's doing. What you are looking for, because apparently it's being a pain in the butt. But anyway, go to ZenWarriorArmory.com. at some point I will figure out a way to share things. Look up their riggings, their crossblades. The other thing is, don't be afraid. I shall send pics of. Thank you. I will be able to custom because they can sell. Well, here we go. And this is just some basic things of what they can sell. Let me get the pictures. You're probably looking for a piece like this, possibly with an integrated quillion, or a piece that's just as straight. Now, like I said, John can make you ones when he's back, probably. And I would far rather, my personal mission is to elevate local folks. That's part of why eventually I want to score myself a nice little welder, because a lot of the straight guards, I could make straight guards very simply and just braze it my dang self, and then I could use that to more efficiently design large-scale weapons. I do tend to, where steel's involved, say, be sure to, sorry about that, get a reputable blade. For a long time, you could get this. There's a company called France Lames. Oh my God, they were terrible. He means well. John means well, but he forgets. Cindy has weight issues where a foil, because of her hand damage, might be about as heavy as she can go. Now, they also have shorter foils, and I am actually rather disappointed because I did indeed order 2 shorter foils, and they said I ordered a couple child-size foils because, and I say that funny because if I don't, I get all the jokes about Sting, and I get a lot of jokes about Sting. John has watched me literally take a dagger. Actually, I used to. It's in my storage unit. I have one of John's short sword. It's a retired rattan short sword, and it was his little shorty. He's like, it's a little dagger, and it was his, 3/4 the length of my arm. It was a great little concussive sword for playing patty cake with. When I say patty cake, to the folks who don't know, one of the drills I teach, and I got actually from John Miner, credit where credit's due, is a figure 8 drill, which is high, low, okay? Basically, the shot goes to the side of your head, your flank, side of the head, thigh or flank, pop, pop, pop. Now, if 2 people are doing this in the simple sword, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. To a lot of SC, to heavies, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this drill just is one of those for building up muscle strength, keeping your range and stuff. And it's a great drill to learn. So I probably could, let me find somebody short enough to demonstrate that without skewering the world. And actually, I think this might be a good job. I'm using the kukri for this because this will give the exaggerated edge alignment. Now, obviously, the low shots are much lower, but you can figure it out. So we're going 5. This hits that. You can see it would hit that side of my head. 6. Now, when you're working a high line centered here instead of centered overall, that's going for the slight. Don't be afraid to arc that a little bit and get into that armpit goodness. 5, 6. Whoop. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And you do this. You put people in rows. You need 2 people for this drill to work best. And you get that rhythm. Clack, 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 clack. And you can dance to it. And it hits your swordmaster soul. 5, 6, 7, 8. And it loosens the joints. It gets the shoulders all ready for fighting because you start slow. And that's one thing. Start slow. Whenever you're training folks, I don't want you going wiggity, 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 wiggity to open up. Nope. And yeah, John can make. He is a wonderful craftsman. And while I'm prattling, guys, I'm not ignoring John and Cindy's conversation in the least, but I want them to have it because that's part of what we do. You'll note this is the Historical Fencing Guild. This is not the Obey Nick. This is not the School of Nick. This is a place where martial artists of different schools, of different backgrounds can come together to meet, exchange ideas, exchange equipment. And, in cases where one is selling something somebody else could want, as long as it's done civilly and respectably, we bring that together too. That's what I'm about. And, you guys help me make this possible. So, yes, this is what's supposed to happen on a Friday night. Granted, there's usually more sweat. There's more people going bang, bang, bang. But the exchange of ideas and equipment and suggestions is what we are about. Okay, City Cat, John said metal or plastic. City says, I'm flying solo, no local group to play with. So, dunno. I know how to make a very light SSO for next to nothing. And pretty much nothing if you're vaguely nefarious. I would not condone vague nefariousness, but these things have been known to happen. If you aren't fighting with an opponent, you can make a light grade adjustable rig pretty easily using one of the fiberglass snow poles, which can be bought for like $2. You just have to be sure to cut it with the right tool. Look up the right kind of blade because they get a little funny if you want to adjust it, and then you just bore out your grip, epoxy or super glue to slide a hollowed out hilt on there, and any rigging you want. And as long as that's flat, one end usually has a kind of button-like top. The top part is kind of buttoned. That'll work surprisingly well. So if you need something till John can make something miraculous appear, that's a good route to go. Obviously, if you have a John in the world, wow, have a John. In the words of Rising Tide Publishing, drink. Now, oh, that is gorgeous. What we need, folks. Wow, I mean, this is awesome. And I didn't even have to get folks routed to my group. This is what I want to see, folks making and working and developing. Guys, and be sure to send, comment links with pictures of what's done. And if you don't know, there is a group, the Historical Fencing Guild public group on Facebook. I do need to approve you, and you do need to speak English. Because apparently there is an Arabic band or something that has the acronym HFG. Okay. The advantages of steel versus plastic. The first, with steel, you can possibly be lighter and more forgiving, especially if you're going in a bouncy foil, but it can break. It's going to be very lightweight, very small, but very long-lasting. Downstairs, I have my personal practice foil that I turned into an elfin thin blade to annoy marshals. No comprendo English. Thank you, John. Thank you. But it lasts. The problem is you have to be careful as you'll need to oil it, maintain it. With plastic, especially something, if you could get ultra, something like this, where it's ultra dense ultra HDPE. This is all, they ask you don't leave it in the sun for days on end because it doesn't necessarily like that. But otherwise, amazing stuff. nearly bulletproof, but not very thrust forgiving. There is if you want to go big budget, there is a set of, it's a type of nylon, actually, there are a couple of variants of nylon-based and plastic-based fencing foils. Leon Paul puts one out, and there's one, not Raytheon. Raytheon is the aerospace guys. Oh, there's another company that puts them out. They're about $45 a piece. The Leon Paul ones that they tend to be geared towards, for children's use. But if you're light, if you need something very light, very forgiving, consider it. The other thing you may really consider if you have bad hand issues, Cindy, is getting a pistol gripped orthopedic fencing foil, like your basic your classical fencers use. Now they look really funny, but I have used one thanks to the incredible Rex Allen Hood, a brilliant gentleman, a heck of a fencer. Grip. German grips. Sometimes they're called German grips. Now they look like this, Cindy. And if you're having a lot of finger manipulation, this moves the manipulation farther into the wrist. There's the feedback's different, and it takes getting used to, especially for somebody who's a French foil fencer. But which is the French is. Oh, what do I have that's rigged? Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, I have to move my horns. Yes, I will be organizing my study in the next few weeks. But plug this out, ignoring that. That was a sound. Anyway. Have to figure out what that was. But that's a more normal grip. This, I did not have relations. Oh, God. Man, they bent that bad. I have to fix that. And with that, folks, I'm going to give you a lesson. I'm going to show you something. More motion is going to be... Okay. You also... We'll talk. I want to show you this. This is an old decorative foil I loaned out for a production of the Addams Family that was done in Valpo, and they did not treat it right. It was given to me by Pete Pidrak. Now, if you look, it's not... Let me see if I can get the angle right to show. Okay, I'm going to do this. You see how it's... I may have just retrained it after years of being good at it. Hey, look at that. It's there. I would, see how right here it's not re-straightening. You see the sharper bit of the bend that isn't coming out. This foil will snap right there if fought with it. The metal's been weakened. It's beat all to heck. But it's a Toledo demonstrator part of a set, and I got suckered by a friend, and they did not necessarily treat it right. Yeah, see. This will fail. So that means if I fought somebody with this, it would, the temper's gone. But seeing something like this live, this tells you how much time I spent training as a marshal, even though I supposedly didn't, that I catch that when it goes by. Yeah, these are actually, for safety's sake, this and its mate will have to be hung up on the wall. And that is one of the hazards of metal. If it breaks sharp. I've had schlagers and heavy rapiers. I had one get L-bent by, I let a gentleman by the name of Dale Dreesen borrow it. A good guy. I don't have much beef with him, but he still owes me a sword blade. And it's not that I have any beef, but that's just read in the ledger. Ooh. I might be getting $3 in the mail. Yeah, it should be a couple bucks. One thing about the prices I keep my my stuff that I sell at, if you look, it's very low. I keep it low for accessibility. I refuse to let finances be a major gatekeeper. The downside to that, in like almost all moral stances, is it's not as profitable as it should or could be. And that's okay. I mean, obviously, it would be nice to make a lot of money, but I hope someday to offset that with volume. If I can use a low price entrance to help more people and maybe make a little, it will. But yeah, most of the time, if I make anything, it's only a few bucks from my publishing. Outside of working cons. That's why cons are so important, and why when the world restabilizes, I'll be back putting Pete and Pony to work. But you have to be able to keep track of things. An interesting story on Flex can be found here, and it can be found here. Now, why am I painted these for visibility. I did not intend them to be a Flex study, but by looking at how the paint has broken down, and if you want, watch this, folks. We'll play with the Flex live. Let me find a piece that looks like it'll go. Watch right here, okay? Nope, nothing. Back here, though, the compression breaks the paint. But this, by working with one of these, this is a cold steel. I have paint chips all over the place now. But this tells you where this weapon will flex and how it flexes. Look at this. See the points of flex? You can see it better here. Why do you see this curve? You will always, if you're fencing right with these, it's going to develop a C curve. Now, when you are using a practical blade, be it a SCA heavy rapier blade, a foil, yes. And believe it or not, right before I got it to pop, that had an S bend. I have seen them S bend. But what you want is a C curve. And the reason that this weapon is curved this way slightly from years of use is because, think about it, because I'm holding this, I'm not very often going to arc around, push, and go against this. This style lends itself to this guard, boop, 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 right? And that attack. So it would be left-handed, but for you it might look easier, but we'll go left-handed, boom. That shot, it's going to wrap around because these line up with your forearm. So it's going to hit, and it's going to flex like this. So on a weapon like this, seeing this little bit of a C curve is actually a good thing. Now, if it was doing, like she said, an S curve, it was going to buckle and break. That had an S curve till the C curve, the bend of weakness got so bad I saw it go. That will fail. It's going up on the wall where no one will swing it. And that's kind of tragic, but that is the nature of fencing foils. And the inherent hazard to light grade metal weaponry. Now, when a fiberglass trainer breaks, it can splinter. and just like wood. That's why SCA heavy fighters use rattan. For folks who don't know, rattan is a bamboo-like stuff, and they make furniture out of it. It's usually about that diameter before they shave it down, and it flexes, and it's a natural product. But when it dies, when the fibers that hold it together have been damaged, it does not splinter like wood does. It gets mushy. That is probably the most important safety feature on a rattan sword. Now, mind you, flex and forgiveness is not something rattan does real well. But for more heavy concussive stuff, it shows it, and it's sustainable. So there is some real real ecological and perhaps environmental benefits to training with rattan. Now, I've trained with a lot of the extruded nylon, the Rawlings. They live in the garage mostly, and I don't think I even have one in here. So I'll try to bring one out next week. They take some light dinging, but they're sturdy, and I have yet to have a problem with any of those. So if you can handle the weight, I really think they are among the more superior mass market, and they are adaptable in that you can switch out the riggings. It's a really neat, well thought out system. But we're past the hour mark, so I got to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Hey, John, Cindy, thank you. Steve, thank you. Steve Agosto, wherever you are, I hope you're having a good night. And the amazing Brian K. Morris, who I pester every other day on Nevermind the Furthermore from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yes, it makes a great conversation. Yeah. There's a horrible Clan of the Cave Bear joke I am this close to making, but it's a little colorful for how the guild does things. So, Cindy, roughly, just out of curiosity, what is your budget for this endeavor? Because I'm curious just to see, because I know you're tight, and I also need to know roughly the time, because I might be able to advise a stopgap till the wonders of John Miner's abilities come to fruition. So we're gonna let me know on that one. The other thing, and one thing that I love about Cindy is she's a writer, and John's a writer too. John, you need to write and publish your stuff. I know you do technical manuals and all this junk all day, and that's fine, and that sucks. But you need to write up your fighting manual, you need to write your spirituality manual, and probably some craft guides. I would really like to see you write a how-to instruction on sword rigging making, because that art is dying. People think, cool. This is a holiday period where things are going to be great. And yeah, we aren't going to see a lot of people face to face we love. These are dangerous times, but we're going to get home. And we have this. We have technology where I can hit a button and I can see my mom's face 100 miles away. Right now, I could hit a button and she'd be like, hi, That's freaking amazing. That's beautiful and colorful and what this is all about. So I want you guys to keep up. Keep a little brighter. The news has learned that it gets ratings by spinning things depressing. Wow. Okay. Awesome. So what that tells me, you have a nifty Dalra for $50. Wow. I will give me a little time, because Cindy is one of my patrons, And the neat thing about being one of my patrons is I'll bend over backwards to make really cool stuff happen. So I will give you a whole list of options in the next couple days, Cindy. And I might just, you know what? Gosh darn it, that's a good idea. I'm going to write up a brief little guide for, I'll kick myself in the morning for saying this, but gosh darn it, I love you guys. So, I will write a quick guide. Hey, there's my fidget spinner. Budget fencing /SSO guide. See that? That's a real honest to gosh post-it note. That's not going there. It's going on my wall. Actual wall, not up. I have a spot. Ah, no, you thrice darn piece of mutilated metal. God, bubble-headed booby. That was brought to you by Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. The space being the distance between my ears at this moment. But that's okay. Next, stop incinerating yourself with fireballs for fun and profit. No. So I have some stuff I have to work out, which reminds me. I have to set something up because apparently I'll be having a visit from Odin, at least his representative, in the near future. Did you hear how fast it was before I got a response for that joke? Comment. I have a windowsill, and under my windowsill is a little board from which hangs the important papers. These are Nick's ultimate sticky notes of doom. I'm not. That's awesome. That is awesome. You guys, that's awesome. They're plotting their stuff. A friend asked me what I wanted for Christmas. Like, I'm going to put that out on the list with you people. And made some jokes about filling the stocking. I'm not going to comment on who made that joke, nor what stocking gets filled with what. But, again, drink. Now, so what I'm going to do in the very near future, and I will consider it a gift toward Cindy Cap, is Trash Bash budget training gear, which actually was considered to be part of the review. I've got several videos. I guess I'm going to just have to set up and shoot, aren't I? That is awesome, guys. I will have some time and as a necessary change in my schedule for safety has come up, even though it will impact me financially. Minorly, nothing to be too concerned about, but there comes a point where you have to say, I have said what I feel about a situation. I'm going to act. So I'm acting. So I'll be shooting. It looks like a twofer. And you know what, Cindy? Just because of you, after I shoot those, they're going up on the Patreon. They will be released as a secret link to the Patreon patrons first. And then that will be part of my Christmas gift to you. My fine viewers will be letting you guys have at it. That sounds fair. And if it's not, comment below. But now that I've solved a couple problems, I have three 3 solutions looking for problems. I've been told I laugh too loud and too often. I'm okay for it. So yes, I will do a couple custom videos just in thanks to Cindy Kep. And of course, I will send the secret links to my patrons, and I do send them also to my direct supporters. Because, wop, 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 or whoop, whoop, whoop in John's case, I want to give back best I can, but not too much. And speaking of, yes, absolutely. I just got a stream of laughs, and I don't know if that was about the comment I made or about filling stockings. But, so, that will be available for patrons. Now, guys, remember, I experimented with setting up tiers for Patreon because that's what they told me to do. And right now, guys, we're all hurting. So I want to try anything you give me helps me. As you can see, I can do next to everything with next to nothing. On the wall is a sign. It's not in here, but it is in this house. And it says, "We the unknown, led by the unknowing, have been doing the impossible for the ungrateful for so long that we are now qualified to do anything with nothing." That is what the background of the guild is built on, folks. My condolences to Cindy, to Steph Marie, who is rather ill at the moment. She had some dental surgery, and that's not fun. But we can get through this, guys. I know. Right now, you're seeing a lot of people are seeing the news and they're hearing, I can't go see people. Yeah, that's true. Right now, if you love somebody, Zoom. I'm serious. Facebook has literally, everybody's on Facebook. It's 2 clicks and you can video conference with people. Be like, "Hi guys, I love you." Boom, you can do this. Because I would rather FaceTime now and miss Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, than have to have to miss their funeral. My motto for years. Yeah. Yeah, John, it's a good motto. That's one of those, there are a list of things that just kind of make up my makeup. They're documents and quotes and ideas that I've clung to and helped form who I am. And the We the Unknown shtick it's like the Go Not Gentle. It is part of what I am, beneath whom. Or the classic talker tradition of keep, as long as there is that life, keep charging the enemy. We just get the job done. But use it up, wear it out, make do without. These things are formats of who and what I am. And it's awesome. And we have done the impossible, and it makes us mighty. And I say that knowing the irony that represents, and being okay with it, because that's it is. My man Jean-Luc said, it's okay. You can to paraphrase him, because I'm not as eloquent, you could do everything right and still lose. Yeah, if you're drawing breath, you're not finished yet. And here's the thing, folks. That's why I published. I didn't publish for me, although money's nice. I certainly did it for the accolade, although it's nice. When I pass, my son, my great my great nephews, nieces, whatever. The friends and students of my students will be able to pick that up, simple sword, right here. As long as the internet lives, as long as some trace of this idea is out there, it's still doing good. And it's not a numeric concept. Okay? It's not like I want to do this much, I want to make this much. I want to do good, I want to keep doing good. And I believe as a historian, as a philosopher, as a writer, as a man, that there is a responsibility to those who have gained from a system of thought, ideas, or action to give back to that system of thoughts, ideas, or actions. And I have built my life as an adult. I mean, at 19, I was carving my future out with a sword. I met my wife because of sword fighting. My first book got published because of sword fighting. My friends were found and lost over sword fighting. It has become a Rosetta Stone of logic and comprehension, a shortcut for everything short of supernatural things, and maybe some there too. I have healed through the sword many times, and I'm trying to again. I owe the system. There's a balance. So I'm going to say you give back, and that's what you do. I'm getting a trip through memory lane from many, many years ago. You know what? Here. Be afraid, be very afraid. This, my friends, is what John Miner looked like when I first knew him. Longer than that, actually. This is, 9. It's about halfway of me knowing him. God, I've known John 20 years. But about 9, 10, this is a much younger version of my boy up there. You don't understand. For height reference, I am at about the key in gold, the gold key borrowed tabard line. I'm about that tall on John Miner, and I am 5'7.5". Big boy. Big boy. But we that fly on my screen. We have to use whatever means we have to build ourselves up. Now, if you're extremely wealthy, you can contact people like Master Ramirez. You can join certain groups I could recommend for the high budget, just like live the dream grade. And there are people who can help you every step of the way. But then you got people like me. The no budget crowd deserve it too. Kind of bases it. It's more complex than that. But we have to, at least 40 some odd days. So get used to it. It's going to show up week after week. Everybody's excited that 2020 is coming to an end. Yay! No more 2020. There is a terrible, 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 terrible truth that if we do the same thing, if we look at the world through the same eyes that we did in 2019, 2020 will keep going. And it will literally never end until we individually stand up. And this isn't about being defined external. My business isn't helping you with the external dialogue. It's the internal one that matters to me. Stand up and say, no, I'm going to do something different. Even if it's a mistake, it is better to make a mistake trying something than continue doing something that you know is failing. If you're not happy, try something else. Get help. Talk to people. If you want something and you can't find it, keep pressing. And I know it's hard, but we have to roll through. I want folks to take this last bit of 2020, and I want to get some payback out of it. I started this year Small Arms, my BSR novella, little book, good book. I published in February. That feels like 4 years ago. This isn't about politics. This isn't about wealth or even the virus. This is a battle for the spirit of every individual I come into contact with. You could be more than this. You could be more than the part of us. And I say, don't live in fear. Yeah, but don't be an idiot. If they say lockdown, social distance, mask, all that, that's fine. But you don't have to cringe. Ha ha! Cindy kept says, if at first you don't succeed, hang gliding is probably a bad idea. Other skills, not so bad. Absolutely. It's not. I will give you the simplest course. That's why it says the simple sword. I don't say the easy sword because I'm not lying. I got very good very fast by learning a simple system and just doing it. That's the trick. That's everybody's looking for a faster, better way. Train slow, learn fast, train long, be good. That's it. You control what you do, and you do it a very long time, and you pay attention. And that is for every single skill you can imagine. You want to be better. Best is a 4-letter word. And I truly believe best and can't are 4-letter words for a reason. Because people get caught up. I want to be. Okay, Ash Ketchum. I want to be the very best fencer. No, be your best. Be better than you were yesterday. You can't. Our minds aren't meant to see the full length. It's just too big. You look up a stairway. The best is yet to come. The best is up at the top of that frickin' staircase. You're looking at Mount Everest. I can't do that. You'll look at that. You'll go, oh, man, that's too high. I can't do that. And imposter syndrome. I haven't gone that far. I don't know, man. No, you pull that gaze down a bit. Have an idea, set a course, sure, but then you look at that next step and you go, that's that step. I don't care about the 268,000 million billion gajillion steps. You find that next step and you freaking own it. And if you're tired, take a break. I've owned this step. Then you start looking at that next step. And you realize every step in front of you, it's literally stepping up to you. It's saying, I'm higher than you. I'm better than you. Step on it. Own it. Get up. Now, that does absolutely apply. I'm going to be the best me I can. And you know what? You will reach a point where there will be either days or reels, or you'll hit a level where this is as good as I can get. And people stare, then walk right into a wall. I can't go any further. Doesn't occur to them. Maybe you need to adapt, go another route. You can still improve. Excuse me. John says, do what works for you, then improve what works. Yeah. My man, Bruce Lee. I do not fear the man who knows 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who knows one kick and does it 10,000 times. If you get nothing out of this, how do you get better? By doing it. people will sell. They will sell easy to you, folks. They will. They will tell you this is the easiest, fastest, nicest way. All you got to do is give me money, and I'll give you the dark secret that will let you just. You want it, whatever it is, you want it. You got to bleed. You got to sweat. You're gonna bleed. You're gonna cry, and that's just part of it. Is it fun? No, not always. I don't. It can be though. That's the thing. If you're crazy and you're doing what you're meant to and what you love, I know what it's like to be tottering on the end, half propped against a wall, held up by a cane, with the only arm that'll hold me up because my bad arm won't hold me up, with a little light SSO drilling. In a chair because you can't stand. You drill anyway. Don't have money, you make a cheap trainer. You're not at home, you find an object, any object handy. Because the system doesn't change, it doesn't care. It might be a little lighter, it might be a little heavier, it's the same system. You do it every day, all the time. You find your groove and you just flow. And that, my friends, God willing, and the creek don't rise, that's how you get good. Now, if you have, enjoy it while you're there. You won't be there long, but you'll have been there. I'm a funny man. Came in second in every tourney I ever fought in, or less, but usually second. All the little tourneys I'd get in, there'd always be some bigger fish, or somebody who wouldn't take blows. Had a few of those too. And it stings once in a while, I won't lie. But I know I went out there and I did my damnedest. I also know in a certain melee once, I was good. 16 people on that field, one guy walked off. And I had better than it. I had my share. Nearly killed me, literally. I nearly died doing it, but I don't regret a second of it. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's not the one that gets me. What gets me is the look of, people like Trey. Trey's a good one. Jason Alito. Steph. Few others who really don't want me to name them because they're very shy. The ones who thought they couldn't do it. And yeah, a lot of women, because a lot of women get told they can't, and that cheeses me. But we build, I watch them go from it's impossible to, hey, I can do this, to, oh my God, I'm doing it. And knowing I got to help with that. It's not my accomplishment. That's anybody who goes, I made you into that. They're cocksmokes. But I got to help. I got to see that light hit. A change, a crystalline ping hits the universe when you help somebody find their thing. And they go from something I always wanted to do to ping, I did it. Fate shifts. The pillars of heaven tremble. And at the end of the day, that little bit of good, that little flash of defiance from the shrouds of misery that fate cruelly dumps on us. The nature of the universe may be entropic. It is always barreling towards destruction. But the spirit of humanity, something I have absolute belief in at the end of the day, the individual light of a person, if you can help them find what matters, defies and transcends that entropic slide to oblivion. And that's what it's about. A point in time where the flow of somebody's life changes. Where somebody, I'm a short, fat, furry little man. Damn, Mandy'd be pissed if she heard me saying that. But she's watching Xander, so I can get away with being a little self-deprecating. On the scale of things, I don't matter. I don't do big things. But little course corrections, little nudges, just unsing fate, just a little higher. Being a footstool and helping somebody just get to that next level that was out of reach. That's a great and noble goal, and that's what I've built my life on. Wow. Got so passionate, my sword came to visit. Anyway. Whoa. Got something on there. Okay. Find your light. Okay? What matters. And I'll be honest, I used the sword to carve a future. I used the sword to carve. I had demons internal, both literal and figurative, that I had to fight. And that was the tool of which I used. And it's the tool I still use. And gosh, guys, it's going to get better when we make it better. And when we take our opportunities and we say, I want this. If you want defense, if you want to be a swordsman, if you want to be a sword lady, if you want to be your own hero, guys, do it. Pick up an SSO. And I literally could not care less what. I've got, here we go. There we go. This is a live steel sword. It's one of my favorites. This is what I call my Lord sword. It's a Pakistani bit of pot steel, brass, and wood, but I absolutely adore this little sword. I can drill with it. You should drill with live steel, but if it's all I had, I'd drill with it. I have canes. I drill with them. I have all sorts of the world. I still end up drilling with my cane because it's convenient. Doesn't matter, folks. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you try. The system's simple. You don't need a complex system. You don't need big money. You just need an object, an SSO, Sword Simulating Object. And you need the gumption, and maybe the insanity, the defiance of fate to say, I'm going to be something more than I was yesterday. And at the end of that decision, tomorrow looks different. You've taken something back. And that's what I'm about, folks. All I want to do is give you guys that opportunity to take something, anything. Simple set of rules, guys. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Ninth, which is a defense by intimidation. 9 guards. Fat guy in a rolling chair can do it. Spry guy bouncing around can do it. Every guard. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth can be cut into. Every guard can be thrust from. That's a whole single sword system right there. Don't do big lunges. Do small, comfortable lunges. Keep the metal between the meat. You can do this. It does take precision. It does take practice. But it is not unachievable. It is not arcane, mystic, the esoteric play, the secrets lay. That's gatekeeping. Long and short of it, that, my good noble friends, is gatekeeping. You see, John Miner, in a second, after I say the word gate again, is going to start laughing because I used to be part of a little group. And other members of that little group, including John, at once were barred on a battlefield by a gate. I'm not sure if they were supposed to be able to break the gate open and kick, a can of whoop-ass all around that, but they did. That's what we do to gates around here. By my nature, for those who understand openers and closers, I am a closer. I don't let bad things come through. Stand the line, hold the line. That makes sense. That being said, if the bad guys try to keep me from doing what I'm doing, we're going right on through. That's what you need. That will help you. It helps me. And that, folks, at the end of the day, is what we are about. We're helping. If you can't get through the gate, get over it. Step. If I got something that can help you, if John has a skill or a tool or something, he'll help. If Cindy knows or has connections, this woman knows everyone and plugs them, okay? And I don't mean pervy like that. Don't get that out of here. Take that to never mind the furthermore. We don't have time for that right now. She helps build people up more than almost anybody I know, including yours truly. That is important. That is a skill and a blessing to everybody who receives it. That's what we need to be. That's what the Historical Fencing Guild is about. Guys, you don't know how many hours I'd spent in my point gleefully, nose deep, just slogging through old manuals and tiles and figure 6, figure 8. This is a that. That is a that. There's Italian terminology. There's German terminology. There's Spanish terminology. Boiling it down, distill it, make it go, and give it to you. Here. Now, I've been passionate, and I need to take care of some business because something has popped up. So what I'm going to say to you guys is this. Be good to each other. Support yourselves. If you like what I'm doing, consider becoming a patron. I'll put the link in the bottom, or look for the Historical Fencing Guild on Patreon. Every cent helps. Or go to www.amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tucker. I got good games. I got the simple sword. When John sets up his stuff, when Swakhammer Metals is public available, go there. He has good stuff. Cindy has good stuff. CKOEPP.com. Read her books. She's prolific. Brian K. Morris's Rising Tide publication is the most morally important thing I have found since I left college. And yeah, they're goofballs. They're erratic, but what they build is beautiful. And what I'm trying to build here with the guild, with the people I've trained, the ones I haven't seen in 2 years in some cases. I love you guys. And I want you, need you. Baby, please, I'm begging you. Be good to yourselves. Train, study, drill, get better, so that when this is over, you can kick my butt off the list field. And until then, please support your local swordmaster.